This film should stand out on its own. It's got a very magical story behind it, mixed with a lot of action.
Is Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings the movie of the year? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Now, let's get into the video. The most recently released Shang-Chi movie from Marvel has had a big impact on the movie industry. In this video, we are discussing whether or not Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings could be the movie of the year. But before we begin, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you can be notified of our upcoming videos. Number 6. Risk-taking.
Deliver.
This film will take your breath away on the big screen, and it is as big as anything that we've ever brought to life in the MCU before.
One of the key reasons behind Marvel's success is that they don't stop innovating when it comes to their themes. But trying out different genres of movies, they can get a sense of what their audience prefers and make more of that content in the future. Shang-Chi most definitely comes under this category. A similar example of this is when they released Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. Although that wasn't meant to be that different from their other offerings, the Russo brothers just couldn't stop themselves from making a masterpiece. That movie ended up being more of a political thriller than a simple Marvel movie. That type of risk has again paid off for Marvel, as Shang-Chi is shattering records left and right. Number 5. Repeated Marvel arcs.
A guy with a freaking machete for an arm just chopped our butts in half.
DJ Snake.
One very slight and minor problem in this movie is its repeated nature. What I mean by that is Marvel has finally cracked the code on making good movies, so they have gotten into the habit of just dressing up the story with another character and sticking with the same themes. One example of that is the trope of a hero who wants to leave his past behind, but something drags him to reality. But again, this is just a minor nitpick in an otherwise marvelous movie. No pun intended. Number 4. Feeling of non-MCU.
This is crazy. I'm specifically impressed how many people managed to reverse engineer the costume.
When I say that Shang-Chi is unlike many other Marvel movies, that is meant as high praise. The entire movie, from its production to its cinematography, feels very different from what has been seen before from the studio. One reason behind this is the fact that this movie is based heavily on fantasy and mythology, which the MCU hasn't dabbled in a lot. The other character that comes to mind is that of Thor, but even that didn't dive as deep into Norse lore as it could have. Contradictory to recent MCU movies, there isn't a lot of tech in this one, which can seem like a refreshing change for some older audiences. Number 3. Shining light on martial arts. As the studio grows, they are trying more and more to be inclusive of other communities, and Shang-Chi is the latest example. One thing that has been executed to perfection within this movie are the fight scenes, which involve the use of martial arts. You don't see such movies being made in the US, so that was a step in the right direction. Ever since Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee, there has been a severe lack of new martial artists and actors who can charm their way onto the screen and into our hearts, and Simu Liu does an excellent job of that. Number 2. Better third act than most.
I served time in federal prison, which turned out to be the best thing for me. I got clean. I rediscovered my passion.
When imagining Marvel movies, you might think of giant lasers shooting up to the sky in the third act, which was a common occurrence up until a few movies ago. But those who have viewed Shang-Chi all agree that the third act was done better than many others in the franchise. Thankfully, with Shang-Chi, Marvel has managed to not include robots and aliens in at least one of their movies. This also gives it a feeling of being more grounded in drama and intrigue, rather than building destroying fights between two excessively strong foes. Number 1. Cast performance.
Hey everyone, Simu Liu here, and I'm with my fellow castmates Awkwafina and Mung-Er from Marvel Studios' Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. And today,
A movie is nothing without a good cast. No matter how good the script is, if there isn't someone to bring it to life, it goes to waste. That is not the case with Shang-Chi, which included the likes of Simu Liu, Awkwafina, and Fala Chen. Every single fan that has watched this movie has raved about the performances, from Simu Liu's energy and mastery of fighting to Awkwafina's comedic timing. All in all, Marvel knocked it out of the park with the casting in this movie. These were some of the things that might make Shang-Chi the movie of the year. Marvel is continuing to dominate the market with these excellent stories about adored comic book characters, and this is another contender for the best movie of the year. That brings us to the end of the video. If you enjoyed the content, then hit the like button. If you want more, then click on any one of the 2 videos on your screen. And until next time, take care and goodbye.